Knife is a command line tool that provides an interface between your local chef files and the chef server. We'll start using it to manage our recipes and cookbooks. To create a new cookbook in Chef, the easiest way is to spin up another machine and use it as a workstation machine. You can see the Vagrant file code here, which you should put in the Vagrant project folder. We started using Vagrant Up workstation and then log in to the Vagrant machine using Vagrant SSH workstation. First, we need to install the Chef development toolkit. You can download it from chef.io and move it into the Vagrant project folder. You can install it with dpkg-i. dpkg is a tool that installs downloaded Debian packages. This is how it should look like. First you use sudo to be root, then you install the chef.dk that you downloaded from chef.io. Knife needs to be set up first. Knife is a tool that comes with the Chef development kit and can be downloaded from the Chef website. Once we have a tool available, we need to create a knife.rb in the .chef folder in our home directory, its configuration file. In that file, we point towards our cookbooks. We are only doing this because we're not using the Chef server yet. We're going to use this tool in standalone mode. Once you start using Chef server or a hosted Chef, this knife.rb can be auto-generated and downloaded. It will contain all information to connect to the Chef server. To start writing recipes, create a cookbook directory structure in the folder called My Cookbook. We can execute the command chef generate cookbook my cookbook to do this. This creates the following directory structure. We have a folder My Cookbook with a Burks file, chef ignore, metadata, and a readme and a recipes. The directory layout can also differ a bit between versions, but this is the minimum you need. First, you can edit the metadata in mycookbook/metadata.rb. Because you need to edit your name, package description, the cookbook description, the version, and the license information. The actual recipe resides in mycookbook/default.rb. You can see here the next generation engine recipe that installs and starts the web server. It also puts an index.html in the HTML directory. When we launch this recipe, we'll see the hello world text when we browse to the URL of that node. We can apply this recipe locally. We're going to do that because we haven't installed the Chef server yet. We use chef client -z and specify the run list, which is my cookbook. -z makes sure we run it locally. This cookbook will be executed on the local machine. It's an easy way to test cookbooks without the need of a Chef server. We need to package the recipe for standalone usage, to distribute it, or if you want to install all the dependencies. To initialize Burks and download all dependencies, you can first type Burks init. This will create the Burks file which we can add our dependencies to. apt is a dependency, so let's append apt to the Burks file. To install the dependencies into the cookbooks directory, you can run Burks install. It will fetch the cookbooks from the Chef marketplace. If you want to package all the cookbooks for distribution, use Burks vendor. It will create a Burks cookbooks folder with all the dependencies and our own cookbook ready for distribution.